This is my first story time. So I'm excited.
Everything about the girl hot, and everything about you just a scream, oh you're not. Tired for telling no for take the notes, no jot drop down low. Them a bust a wine and a squat, yeah. Everything about the girl clean. She a give this, but you know the mug need.
This story time obviously is called Jidenna invited me over. So me and my best friend went to Vegas for our birthdays. So one of the first parties that we went to while we were there was a pool party at Palms Hotel. We beat our faces every day in Vegas. Like, it was no time to be regular. It was time to catfish every single day. So we beat our faces to go to the pool party because we weren't getting in the water. We just were going to be cute. We get there and it's lit, and randomly, as I don't know, I was just like chilling, one of my friends came up to me and was like, so Jidenna's been here this whole time and he's just like chilling in the cut. I don't like my hair. So I'm like, Jidenna's here? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, where is he? He's like, right behind you. So I turn around and I see Jidenna like sitting at his day bed and he's just staring at me. So I'm just like, hey. He's like drinking his drink and he like raised his glass to me. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, I need to go hug this man. So I say to him, I need to hug you. And obviously he's far from me, so he can't really hear what I'm saying. I'm just talking really over dramatically so he can like read my lips. So I'm like, I'm gonna hug you. So he's like, how are you gonna do it? And I'm like, I'm gonna walk on the stage, jump over the fence, like all this dumb stuff I was doing. But we laughed it off. It was cool. I had a conversation with Jidenna. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel good. I came to Vegas, I saw Jidenna, and I had a little sign language conversation with him. Perfect. So he's doing his songs, and then he ended with Classic Man, and he was like singing to me, and I'm like, oh hey. So that was done, and I'm just like, oh, I'm like so lucky today. Like, today's my lucky day. Jidenna just keeps looking at me and interacting with me. So I'm just dancing with my friends, having a great time, and I randomly turn around and I see Jidenna like pointing at me like, you come here. So I'm like, okay. So I'm walking towards the steps to like get up to his daybed, and it's a line of girls trying to get in his VIP, and I'm just like, skirt, not staying in this line. So I walked past all of them straight up to the front, and I went to the bouncer or security. And I'm like, yeah, Jidenna called me up here. And he's like, sure, Jidenna called you up here, okay. And I'm like, no, really, he did. So he turned around and he looked at Jidenna, and Jidenna's like, her, right there with the black bikini. So I had a black bikini on. I'll insert a picture here. So once the security saw that Jidenna was like wanting me to come in, one of the girls that was like standing in the front of the line was like, see, he said let us in. So the security was like, no, he said let her in, y'all gotta wait. So I'm like, sorry. I walked in and I'm walking towards Jidenna, and he's walking towards me, and he like has his arms out to hug me, and I'm just like, what the heck? We like have small talk. I guess he asked me my name or whatever. He asked me like what I was doing for the night, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to Tao. He's like, okay, well, you should definitely come to Moon. So I'm like, oh, dope. So that's when he was like, okay, well, don't leave. Sit in my VIP, have some drinks, chill, and I'm about to take these pictures. I'll be right back to you. So I'm like, okay. So I went to his VIP. I'm looking around, I'm looking at all these drinks. I'm just like, is this really happening right now? Like, yes, it is. I'm walking around. I got myself a glass. I poured a drink. I'm just chilling. So then his manager comes up to me. She was talking to me for a little bit, and she was asking me about myself, and I'm like, yeah, I sing, I also act, I graduated from Temple, got a bachelor's in theater, all this good stuff. So she's like, oh, okay, cool, like, that's what's up, and asked me what I'm doing for the night, and I'm like, well, I'm going to Tao, but Jidenna was telling me about Moon, so I think I might want to go to Moon too. So she was like, all right, well, like, just let me know how many girls you're with, and I'll put you like on the list. So I'm like, okay, cool. So we exchanged numbers, and that was great because I didn't think that was gonna be that easy. So finally, Jidenna was done taking pictures and came back over to me. We were talking a little bit more. While we're talking, this girl was like, do you want me to take your picture? And I'm like, sure, because I was really about to leave the VIP and not have any proof that I was with Jidenna. So I was just like, yeah, definitely. So she took the picture. I'll insert it here. So He's like, yeah, like, you definitely should come through the Moon tonight. And I'm like, okay, yeah, like, I'll tell my girls, like, we'll be at Moon. So I'm walking out VIP now, and I'm walking past all the girls that's been waiting to get in the line from since before I even walked up there, and they looking at me like they hate me, and I'm like, well, sucks to not be me. But anyways, I don't like that my bra strap is showing right now. So fast forward to the nighttime. We went to Tao, and we got there early, and it was just like not lit at all. So I text Whippa, and I'm like, hey girl, are y'all still at Moon? She's like, yeah. If you still want to come, ask for Sarah at Will Call, and your name's on the list. We'll have security come down and get you. And I'm like, okay. So we get to Moon. I was like, hi, my name is Stassi, and my name should be on the list. And she was like, oh, you're with the artist. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, okay, just a second. So she went, got security. Security came over, walked us up to Moon Nightclub, and walked us straight to Jidenna's VIP. So he's performing, and I'm like, wow, like, yo, like, this is lit. Like, we really here. Like, that's what's up. His security walks him from the stage to his VIP. He comes over. He's like, oh, thank you so much for coming. Hugs me. I'm like, what? Thank you for inviting me. Like, of course. We just start talking, and he's like, what brings you to Vegas? And I'm like, well, me and my best friend, we came to celebrate our birthday because our birthdays are in May. So we just decided to come for Memorial Weekend. And he was like, oh, like, when's your birthday? And I'm like, May 15th. And he's like, so you're a Taurus? I'm like, yeah. He was like, okay, I'm a Taurus, so that's why we're here. And I'm like, yes, that's why we're here. So he's like, you have a great, like, energy and aura, and you have, like, a really good vibe. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much. And I had no clue that you were, like, even noticing me or seeing me, like, at Palms. He's like, yeah, like, I've been noticed you before you even turned around. Like, I've been peeped you. And I'm like, wow, like, it's so many girls here with big fat butts and bikinis. And I'm just thinking, like, he's not gonna be looking at me. So he's like, no, like, it's just something about you. And I'm just like, I know, like, come on, keep going. We just busting it up, and things are good. So I went back over to my best friend, and she was like, I think Jidenna wants you. And I was like, why you say that? And she was like, I forgot what she said, actually. I don't remember what she said. But before we were leaving, Jidenna's like, oh, I'm gonna have my security get your information, and so that we can link up later. And I'm like, okay, we can do that. So his security came, I gave him my information, and he's like, definitely come back. Like, I want you to come back to Palm so that we can hang out. And I'm like, okay. So I went over to my best friend, and I'm like, yeah, I think Jidenna wants me. Like, so she's like, why you say that? I'm like, he wants me to come back afterwards. So she was like, are you? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what he wants from me. I knew what he wanted from me. But at that time, I wasn't single, you know. I guess technically I was single, but I was dating a guy at the time. So I'm just a very loyal person. I'm a Taurus, and that's just a trait of ours. But if I'm dating you, or if I'm seeing you, even if you're not my boyfriend, I just feel obligated to be loyal to you, because that's just what I would want in return. So I really wasn't with the shenanigans. And he stops me before I go, hugs me, and he's like, hopefully I get to see you tonight. And, like, looks right into my soul. And I'm like, you will. Just all dumb. We're leaving, and my best friend's like, so are you gonna go see him later on? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, that would be a poppin' story to tell. Like, you know, my first Vegas trip, I met Jidenna and this and this and that. But then I was just thinking about my morals, and I was just like, I don't know this man. I know who he is, but I don't know him. So finally, I, like, came to my right mind, and I'm like, nah, like, I'm not with it. So I text his bodyguard, and I'm just like, his bodyguard texted me right when I was about to text him. I was like, hey, are you guys coming up? And I'm like, actually, no, I'm not gonna come up. We're gonna head back to the SLS, so hopefully we'll run into each other another time. So that was that. I left Vegas with my Jidenna story and my morals. And I'm very happy about that, because at the end of the day, Jidenna is a really cool guy. And guys will be guys, especially when they see an attractive girl. But I would rather become successful in singing or acting or something in the industry and run into him again on that note that we left it, rather than on another note. You know what I mean? So it was fun. Like, he's really cool. And I had a great time in Vegas. I was very innocent because I'm just a cornball, so whatever. That's my Jidenna story, and I hope you guys liked it. I guess it's not as spicy as you would want it to be, but I'm not a hoe. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and subscribe to me and follow me on Instagram at @theofficialstassi and follow me on Twitter at @officialstassi. Okay, love you.